What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Hill Homestead. Long time no see. There has been plenty going on, which is why we have not been updating our YouTube feed. So softball season's now over. We are still in our busy season at work for myself, but things have started to slow down a little bit for Des and myself. I'm getting home at a decent hour now. But as you can see, we have our meat birds and our chicken tractor. And I'll show you this contraption that we've built and kind of explain it a little bit to you. This contraption here was just built out of PVC pipe, a scrap fence that we had laying around, and just some good old tin and this plastic. And then we wrapped it around with chicken wire and hooked ratchet straps on each end. That way we can pull them. All right, so back here is where the chicks have not been. And here, as well as over there, is where the chicks have been. And this is a good method for us because, well, I'm gonna leave you guys up, because you knock out a couple different birds with one stone. We fertilize our lawn, and they move all around and they pick at the grass, they pick the bugs that are in the grass, and that cuts down a little bit on feed cost and keeps things a little bit more organic for them. And then not only that, but they don't have to sleep in their own poop. They don't have to eat and drink around their poop. They have a fresh set of bedding every single day. And that contraption is light enough. Des kind of carried the back because we do have some with some bum legs. So because they grow so large so fast, they do get bummed out legs. And you got to be careful not to pull the chicken tractor over top of them and hurt them even worse. You guys might be wondering to yourself, it's the beginning of the video, how are you already filthy? Well, let me explain that to you now. One thing that I will say about mud is it was not all created equally. This mud that is all over me is pig mud. And if you've ever been in pig mud, you've also been in pig poop and pig pee. And today we had to get into it. And the reason why is because you guys may remember our boar, Bowser, from a few videos back. I talked about us getting rid of Bowser. We did end up selling him, and we were thinking, we could get out of Hereford pigs a little bit there. Well, we had trouble moving our Hereford pigs, so we just decided to take them down and to just keep them. It's a good thing we did, because while feeding the other day, we just thought they were getting fat. And Rosie is very, very pregnant, as well as Peaches. Peaches is not quite as far along as Rosie is, but we moved her today in perfect timing. So we did have a lot of success with this pen and that board back there, as far as keeping piglets alive with Betty. So we have went ahead and moved Rosie in. We did check her teats, and they are milking. So she is due at any moment. We are assuming it's going to be tonight, because that's just what pigs love to do, is keep us awake at night. So I will show you guys, if she will let me get close enough to her, exactly what I'm talking about. Show you guys that again. All right. Okay. You're all right. And from our last litter, this guy and this girl are growing like weeds. We are keeping the gilt, but the little boar that we could not castrate because he only dropped one, he retained one testicle, is finding his new home tomorrow. So we do need your all's help with one thing, and that is naming this little girl back here, this little gilt that is the black and white one there, finding out a name for her. Des would like to name her Anna off of Frozen, because you guys know that we like themes. And she has a small streak right in the middle of her forehead, kind of like Anna does in the movie Frozen. But Taryn disagrees. She does not like that name. So if you guys can either agree with Des or think of another name for her, that would be wonderful. And you can't really see her because this guy wants the Rice Krispie treats. This is what that Piglet looks like. You see the little streak on her forehead. So let us know what you guys think on what a good name for this little girl could be. So to add to some more surprises, we did have a new learning experience with the sow behind me, Ollie, Olive. You know, you guys have heard us call her a couple different names, but we did purposely put her in here with Dino. They're going to make a little bit of noise, and Des is about to feed them. So, but we did purposely put them in there with Dino a few videos back to get them bred to have summer pigs, to have summer piglets to be able to sell. But for the first time in our pig experience, Ollie aborted 13 piglets. They were only a few months developed, and we're not exactly sure on a due date for her, on when those piglets were supposed to appear. But I noticed fence is on. I noticed that she was missing one morning when I came out to feed. Went and checked the barn, and she had already had 4 of the 13 piglets. Obviously all of them did not make it. None of them came out alive. They were very tiny, but a very disappointing experience for us, losing that many piglets and her not being able to take them to full term. But the good news is we are going to be able to pull her and breed her back here in the next couple of months and try again to get some fair piglets on the ground and get those out to the kids in the community. So a few of the chicks that are in here, obviously the ones that are not white, the white ones are Cornish crosses, but the black ones, the red ones, just multicolored ones, we'll go around and show you those. They were actually hatched out in Desiree's classroom project this year. Here's a few of them. Here's a couple right through here, all the black ones and the red one. And then we've got a few more running out here around the waterer. But she does that project with her classroom every year, and she takes eggs from our homestead, takes them into her classroom, puts them in an incubator, and hatches them out. We did video quite a bit of that and hope to get that posted as well. But side story is about our girl Sora back here. Sora is our Rottweiler. And if you know anything about Rotties, the history of Rottweilers is they are actually farm dogs. And I would say Sora is probably the furthest thing from a farm dog other than being able to get dirty. And today we were trying to load these hogs up onto the trailer to get them moved. And there was one gap, and Sora filled that gap. She's very curious and she gets very worked up when we are moving pigs, when we're messing with chickens, things like that. And the pigs, Rosie actually found that gap off of the side of the ramp, and Sora stepped in and was able to get herself so worked up and move Rosie back on path and load her up onto the trailer. But yeah, that's a little fun fact for you guys. Rottweilers used to be used for excuse me, tilling. They would actually, back in the old days, from what I have read, people would go to the bank, and anytime they carried money, they would just hook it to their Rottweiler's neck. That way it would help with them being robbed. So just a little fun fact for you guys. Another little surprise of life that we had here on the farm were these little chicks if Mama will let me get very close without them taking off. We actually had a lot of trouble with those girls because we were trying to break them from being broody because we already knew Des was hatching out chicks in her classroom, so we really didn't want any more, but they refused to break. So we just let them sit, and we ended up having 9, and 4 different hens kind of break up the motherhood there, and they each share the chicks, 2 and 2. 2 of them take about 6, and the other 2 take about 3, and mother them as best they can. They are very good protectors. They attack the dogs anytime they get close, as well as any of the other chickens. And laying right here is old Peaches. She is just being lazy. I think the move kind of worked them both up, so she's just kind of relaxing and making herself at home right now. And last but not least, right now at this very moment, we only have 2 cows on the farm. One of them is Terran's steer, Major, right there. He is growing like a weed. He is huge. And little Libby back there. She is not big enough to be bred, but Des's grandfather was gracious enough to provide us with a bull, as well as his fields for care of our 5 heifers. We sent them into Martinsburg to be bred for next year to have calves, hopefully come 2025 at the beginning of the year there. So right now we only have 2 cows in the barn and some open fields, so there is going to likely be some brush hogging in my near future. But like say, we apologize. It's been a long time since our last video, but we have had plenty going on. We've been very, very busy, so we have neglected YouTube and put other priorities first. But speaking of priorities, we are going to spend the rest of the evening hanging out with our girl Rosie back here and seeing if she can give us some piglets. And she is a gilt, so we want to be sure that the birthing process goes as smoothly as possible and we get as much life out of these piglets as we can. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this update. Hopefully we can get more consistent with our videos going forward, and kind of get you guys back into the flow of what's going on around here with us. It is the busiest time of year possible for myself and Des. Thankfully Des is just about to start her summer break, so maybe she can roll solo on some of these videos from time to time. But we will keep you guys up to date as Rosie pops out piglets, as well as Peaches whenever her time comes. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We'll see you guys next time.